What's up, nerd family? Welcome once again to the Poindexter Lounge. My name is Enosh, aka Enosh Vet, and it is good to have you with me in the lounge today. Now, look, if this is your first time, I always say this, if this is your first time to the lounge, I'm so glad you found us. I'm so glad that you're here because the Poindexter Lounge is a place for nerds. It's a place where you and me and my friends can get together and talk about the things that we love, things like TV shows, movies, games, sci-fi, fantasy, comic books, superheroes, toys, all kinds of anything nerdy, everything nerdy, anything and everything in between. If it's pop culture and nerd, that's what we cover. That's what we talk about here. And if those are things that get you going in the morning, if those are things that that get you excited, then you have found the right place. And so we invite you to please hit that subscribe button as well as that notification bell, because that's what we're about here. And we want you to be a part of that. We want you to be here for that. All right. So excuse me, I got to clear my throat there. So today we're just gonna have some fun. This is the laid back stream. This is I like doing these overnight streams sometimes, and we used to just do them as call-in shows. But I like now where we have some different people come in. But obviously, if you have something that you'd like to talk about, the link is in the description. If I can get you in, I definitely will. And we'll talk about it. But just looking at things that were going on today, some photos dropped today of some various things, not just today, but during the week. We got a couple new Witcher photos of Henry Cavill, and we obviously got some new Starfire photos from Titans. And then, I just started thinking about like all the different pictures that kind of come out in the last week or so. And we're just going to take a look at those things as well as your topics. And, it always ends up where last night we as one of the topics, we just had Robert Englund being on Stranger Things season 4, and it turned into a great conversation from the chat. You guys are awesome. The chat really makes the show what it is. You guys are fantastic in the chat. So thank you to everyone who's in the chat. You guys really make the show. And you guys started talking about Nightmare on Elm Street last night, man. And we just got on this whole awesome discussion about Nightmare on Elm Street. And that was so much fun. And like I said, you guys, the reason why the Poindexter Lounge exists and why it's here and why we do what we do is because of you. So I do want to say a shout out to all of our members. If you haven't become a member yet, hey, what are you waiting for? It's really cheap, and you get really cool, fun stuff. And if we get a couple more members, we can put up a couple new emoticons for you guys to use. But yeah, there's all kinds of different layers of membership, and so it's not like you gotta come in some high membership level or whatever, but you get these little perks. You get to see stuff sometimes before other people get to see stuff, and you get access to videos that just some behind the scenes videos, sometimes just stuff that we just shoot and we just talk about stuff that's going on, that's not going to be like a full-fledged video that we put on the channel maybe, but it's just something to discuss stuff and have and have a fun time behind the scenes. So thank you to all of our members, everybody who signed up. You guys are awesome. We're very, very grateful for all of you, and a shout out to all of you, and also a shout out to all of our Patreon supporters. Same thing. You guys get access to some things, beforehand or whatever, early. Get a sneak peek at some stuff. And so thank you to everyone. And of course, everyone who gives super chats or supports the channel in any way. Look, just thank you for watching. That's the biggest thing. If nobody's watching, then it just doesn't matter. And so I'm just thankful for all of you. But don't forget, we do have a new giveaway for this month for all of our members, super chat givers, and also our Patreon subscribers. We do a giveaway every month. Last month's giveaway was this cool triple feature, and our good friend Ryan won that. Along with the Animatrix. And so we like to give back a little bit. So we got that. This month is a little something different. So this month's going to be a twofer, because I'm going to have two different things. I'm going to go a couple of weeks with this, and then I'm going to add another thing in a couple of weeks. But there's this really cool poster that I picked up. It's this R2-D2 poster right here. If you can see with Princess Leia, it's very retro. And I thought it might be something that that you guys might like. So that is for the first 2 weeks here, the first 2 weeks, and then first 2 weeks into December, we'll do another one. So I got another giveaway just in time for Christmas. All right, in the holiday season. So that being said, I think that gets through everything. Oh, don't forget also our comic book giveaway of the week. This week's comic book question of the week. It's our nerd question of the week. All you got to do is answer it in any of our streams or, chats or anything, or, if we put out a regular video, if you just answer it in the comment section, you're in the running for a free comic book brought to you by the Milee Store on eBay. You can find their link in our description below. But here is the question for this week. How was Jason Todd brought back to life? It's really, really simple. Real easy comic book, lore kind of thing. And if you answer that question, you're in the running for a free comic book this week. All right. So be a part of that. That one's always fun. You don't have to do anything for that. You just literally just answer the question, and your name is tossed into the hat, as it were, so that we can give that away, because we care about you guys here, and we just want you guys to know that. And I just love you. Also, if you do go to the Milee Store, you get 10% off of anything. I know Christmas time is coming up. If you just say that you're from the Poindexter Lounge, once you pay for your item, you just send them a note. They'll give you 10% off your purchase. Or if you bought toys, because they got lots of cool stuff there. I mean, at the Milee Store, they got a little bit of everything. And so if you do that, you get toys, buy two, get one free, or 10% off your purchase. And hey, every little bit helps coming up to Christmas time and the holidays. So do that. Now, that being said, let's talk with some friends of ours. We got a couple people in the back already. Here's a good buddy of mine. Haven't seen him in a little while. Haven't talked to him in a little while, but I always love talking to this guy. He's a fan favorite here, and I know if Cylon Scotty's out there, Cylon Scotty will be jumping for joy somewhere as we welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, Brian, Master of None. What's up, Brian?
Not much, bud. How's it going?
Good, man. Doing all right?
Yeah. Kind of taking a little bit of a break, just to relax, resettle a little bit.
Hey, man, you got to do that sometimes, man. You know what I mean? You gotta take care of yourself. Gotta make sure that you're grounded. I know every once in a while, man, I just need to take a couple of days off, and people are like, "Where are you, Edash? Where are you? When are you streaming again?" And I'm like, "Don't worry, I'll be back. I'll be back. I ain't going nowhere. Nowhere." So, well, it's good to see you, man. And also back here, once again, always love to have him on, is Mladen. What's up, Mladen?
Hey, buddy.
Are you there, Mladen?
Mr. Kulik. Say hi to everybody. Hi, guys. How's everyone doing?
What's up, Mladen? Well, you know what? Hopefully Mladen comes back. Brian, is there like a sound coming on your end?
Yeah, I gotta get up 1 sec. I gotta close my door.
Okay. No problem.
Dryer's going.
Here, I'll do this for you. There you go. All right. I know how that is, man. I got the laundry room right off the side of here. So while we're waiting for Mladen to come and join us, I do want to say hello to Zentech. What's going on, Zentech? What's up, Kavari? Good to see you, man. Thomas, what's good, man? Good to see you. Tony is back in there. Good to see you, man. Always good to see you, buddy. Hope you can join us at some time, some point. What's up, Rasha? Always glad to see Rasha in here. Anybody else? Let's see. Coming in to say hi right away. What is up, Michael? What's up, man? Good to see you. Anybody else here real quick before I move on? I'm just looking at people talking here. Mladen was in there. Good to see Mladen, and hopefully he jumps back up in here real quick. But yeah, and there's Ryan. What's up, Ryan? Hey, there's Barcelona B. Oh, heck yeah. It is good to see you all here. And there's Garguts. It is a dryer in the back. way to call that one, Garguts. He called that one really, really well. Look, it's a dryer in the back. Hey, what's up, Nana? Good to see you. Good to have you in the chat tonight. It's good to see you. My thing just kind of skipped down, so I didn't see that you were in there. I hate it when the thing skips down and like I don't see who's in there. So what's up, Nana? What's good? Hope you all are doing well. Hope everybody is safe tonight. Hey, Goober, good to see you. What's up, Legend? Wait for it. Derry, good to see you as well. So before Brian comes back in, I just want to say, I'm super excited, and since Nana's here, I do want to say a shout out because they have their show tomorrow night on the Nerd Queens, and you can find them. Hold on, I got Brian coming back in here. If I can get Brian back in. Oh, there we go. Okay.
All right. This should be a little bit better. Sorry about that.
We're good. We're all here. Gotta love the internet. Gotta love the live show, folks. You just gotta roll with it, though. You just gotta roll with the whole thing. But man, so you've been all right though. You've been good. You're just taking a little bit of a break there. I see. Huh?
Yeah. Work, sleep, the occasional stream and repeat.
I hear you, man.
Mostly trying to catch up on stuff. I found myself falling behind on a lot of, just content that I haven't been watching.
Yeah. I know, that's the things. Like, I got so many things that I need to do. I've got like some things that I need to pre-edit and post-edit, and I got a couple of interviews I got to do, but we get there, right? And so, hello to Tiffany. Yes, I did. So I did want to. This is what I was going to talk about until you were popping back in. But yes, the lovely Tiff-tastic is going to be on League of Mayhem tomorrow. I love that. I think that's awesome. I'm so happy for her. 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern tomorrow night. So go check out the Nerd Queens, and the lovely Tiff-tastic will be on there. And I was joking with Tiff. I said, last few episodes, Zack Snyder's been popping in there. I said, I swear, if you get to meet Zack Snyder before I do, I'm gonna be really happy for you, and I'm gonna love you. I'm gonna be tons of jealous, but yeah.
Very true. No, totally understandable.
It's just like yes, yay! I'll be bouncing off the walls of the room. She's like, I'm gonna have to lock the door so that you don't like peek in and be like, hi.
Yeah. He's like,
hi.
Did you guys see my sleeve? My sleeve. I was leaning.
It's like that episode of The Mandalorian this week where the guy is like, did you see that?
Jeans.
Yeah, the guy with jeans and stuff, and he's like sitting there like, and apparently like you could just barely see him around the corner or whatever. And that's funny. That's just funny. That's just funny.
That's great. I mean, I'm really happy for it. That's awesome. Dude.
Oh, me too. I was so happy to hear that, because you know what? Because Tiffany's awesome, and
right?
I've got an awesome wife. She's absolutely fantastic, and I'm glad that she's part of my channel. And I mean, she's part of the reason, guys, why we even started this. To be honest with you, I mean, she came up with the name. She was the one who I've told the story many times. The channel kind of birthed from the fact that we watched Sharknado 3, and Tiffany's like, hey, we need to go on your YouTube channel thing that you got and like do a review of this and talk about this, because this is like too ridiculous not to. And so we did, and that was history. And so Tiffany is I know that everybody doesn't get to see Tiffany a lot, but
so something good came of Sharknado 3 then.
Oh yes. Yes. I like what Nana says here. She goes, if Zach showed up for a third time in a row, I think we just have to make him a permanent guest at this point. Yeah. Not that we would complain.
Just fill him in as a panelist, hey, what's up? Yeah.
Regular panelist. What's up to McCoy?
Wow, that's great.
That's my good buddy James Biscuit McCoy. Used to do a radio show with me called The Rock Show, and he's a good guy. Laden says, sorry, my power went off, so I won't be joining in the stream. Okay, man. Well, hey, it's good seeing you.
Always.
But hey, I just wanted to jump on here, because like I said, not a lot of news going on right now, not a lot of stuff going on, but we did get some really cool pictures today. And I'm a huge fan of Titans. Now, I did misspeak. The lovely Tiff-tastic, she got a little too excited yesterday because she saw that Titans was coming to HBO Max, and I don't know, she kind of misread that as that Titan season 3 was coming to HBO Max today, and so like I misspoke yesterday and said that it was, but it's not. But we did get some cool stuff, and that is, look at Starfire.
Ooh, that's nice.
This looks awesome. I mean, dude.
Wow.
Mm.
No, I saw
Tiffany and I just looked at this photo, man, forever, dude.
I haven't had a chance to catch this show yet, so I'm pretty excited to have it on HBO Max. So I mean, oh yeah, this is
dude,
this is a definite. I've been toying with what show I want to watch because let's be honest. I mean, if you're kind of new to the DC thing, it's kind of overwhelming because you get in and you're just like, okay, what do I watch first?
Yeah.
I mean, I will say I took the Truth's advice and I watched Green Lantern First Flight.
Oh yeah, dude.
Fantastic. I was like, wow, if they would have made this into that other movie, it would have been good.
I'm telling you right now, man, that cartoon is so good. It's so good.
Oh yeah.
For sure. But look, people complained about Starfire from the beginning. I will just say this, man. This show, dude, if you have not seen this, Brian, this show is so good. This show basically made me in love with the character of Dick Grayson all over again. Oh. Like more so than I've ever been. Like I've never been a big fan. Like I don't want to say fan because I'm a fan of all of it, right? But like as far as like just being like super excited about like Nightwing or something like that, I've just been like, okay, like I like the character, but it's just all right. This show made me love Robin, made me love Dick Grayson, made me love Nightwing. To the point where it's like I don't think I even had a Robin action figure. I just had like one Robin action figure from when I was a kid, and now like I've gone out and I've got like all the Robins. I've got I had to get Robins. I had to get some Nightwing action figures. But the first season, Starfire, they gave her an interesting costume. I'll just say that it wasn't really a costume. She kind of looked more like a lady of the night. And people had a problem with that, but it was her story. It was like, I don't want to go into like too much spoilers for you, but it was just basically her story, where she came from, like her memory, what she remembered, what she didn't remember, like how, where she was and who she was tracking down at the time. Oh, and this is what I tell people. And look, anybody watching, just know this. It's called story arc.
That's what the first 2 seasons of The Next Generation were for, man.
Dude, story arc. We live in such a world now where people do not appreciate story arc.
They want the conclusion right now,
Yeah. It's like we want to know the ending before we even got it. That's the problem that people have with even Zack Snyder's work. Like they sit there and complain because Superman wasn't Superman right off the bat, and he was hello. It was a story that told how Clark became Superman. Where he went from there, how the world reacted to him, all these things. And then you get him to the place to be the Superman, but by then he's earned it.
Yeah.
And that was what was unique about Zack Snyder's vision of Superman, because in nothing else, in no other medium that we see, and I've loved Superman since I was a kid, but in no other medium have we ever seen that Superman has to earn the trust of the world.
Well, I mean, I love Christopher Reeve, don't get me wrong, but I'm just saying he just burst on the scene as Superman. Turned the suit open and was like, let's do this. You know what I mean? So it was like, I think it's a lot better. I don't know. They're on a whole different level. I mean, like honestly, other than the fact that it's Superman, it's like one of those comparison things. I don't think you really can't compare Man of Steel to,
Oh no. And
especially since like just the whole story on Krypton that took place before. I mean, hell, you tell me 1979 Superman, I had no idea. I mean, and that was the first Superman I ever watched. Yeah. So, I don't know.
Yeah, there's just so much to be said for being able to appreciate a story. And I like a story, and I like getting into things for the long haul, to listen to a story from the beginning, middle, and end. And I don't necessarily want to know everything that's happening. I mean, like I'm not a big, like there's sticklers who are just like, I don't want any spoilers. And I get that to a point, but like, I'm not so much on that. It's just that I just want to know the story. I want to be able to see the story play out. So like, even if I know parts of it or whatever going in, I appreciate when I see a story play out and when I see that they put some thought into it and some ideas, but Titans is definitely long haul stuff. Like, you're not going to get the entire, it's not like you're going to come out and it's like, hey, cool, there's Robin and there's Starfire and Raven and they all just showed up and they're just all a team. Yay. I mean, people want it to almost be, like go team, Teen Titans Go or something, and it's like, this is a dark story. It's got a lot of setup to it. And yes, the first whole season, dude, was setup. I mean, so much setup, but to me, it makes you appreciate it more when you see a story play out like that, trying to get through here. Zentech says, question for the Poindexter panel. Both of us. Do you think we will get a physical release of the Snyder Cut OST, or do you think we will get at least a digital release prior to the movie premiere?
I don't know. More than likely. I mean, I think a lot of it hinges on how well Wonder Woman 84 does. Whether or not they're going to, I'm sure they'll put it in the theaters, but it'll be like a limited run situation where, IMAX only or something like that. And I think that would be really cool. I don't know. I'm one of those people that's in the camp that I think that theaters need to up their game as far as getting people back in the seats.
Yeah. We've had that conversation. Yep. Yeah.
Where it's like, I get it. Movies are great and everything like that. And it's fun to go watch them in person, but I'm also one of those people that's like, maybe we can, try to expand the experience a little bit better.
I just don't want anything that takes me out of the experience.
No. I'm just saying that makes it more immersive. Because I remember when like IMAX came out and everybody was like, oh my gosh, it's got a steel perforated screen. You can hear sound right through it. It's like, oh. I remember watching Attack of the Clones because that was the first movie I saw in IMAX. All the way back in 2002. But no, I was streaming earlier. I was putting Minecraft on, and I was just playing random stuff, and I was discussing my prequels, where I stand on them. My thing is I as I said, they were my first DVDs ever, and I remember watching the hell out of them. Like, I've seen the Phantom Menace so many times. I keep saying the Phantom Menace.
I know, it's a slip,
which really drives me nuts.
I know it's a slip.
But no, the Phantom Menace, I've seen it so many times, I can't get through it. Like, I'll fall asleep by the time. Okay, if I make it to the pod race scene, if I am still awake before the end of it, then I'll finish the movie out. But most of the time, it's ripping logs. Same thing with Attack of the Clones. Like, as soon as they find out Jango Fett, I'm like.
Look,
but I love Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah, no, and hey, we're gonna be reviewing Revenge of the Sith here pretty soon. Me, Dawson, and Goldman. That's our next in our Star Wars discussion. But
I love your guys' Star Wars chats. But
thanks, man. Thanks, man. No, but Barcelona, I agree. I don't get why anybody would not like this. This is so comic accurate.
No,
this looks fantastic, and it's been her story. I'm so glad that she's able to realize this and to see this through, because she looks great. I mean, first of all, she's beautiful. She's gorgeous.
Yeah.
Look. I mean, at the risk of being like a certifiable nerd, man, she is absolutely stunning. And I mean, the outfit and everything. I mean, like I said, Tiffany and I just looked at this for a couple of minutes, and we were just like, wow. Like, this is great payoff for this character, because everybody complained about it and griped about it. She doesn't look like the comic. She doesn't look like the comic. I mean, there were people complaining because she was black. And I'm like, you gotta be freaking kidding me. Are you kidding me right now? Like Starfire's orange anyways. So, I mean, like, she's a person of color, literally. Like, she, like a different kind of color. But my goodness, like, I don't understand people, man. Like, it just goes to show you, people will gripe and complain about literally anything.
Right? Well, it's a business these days, unfortunately.
Yeah. I like it. Mr. Horjak, he says, not Teen Titans Go. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But yeah, people just like to.
Well, the trailer blew me away. I saw that during DC Fandom. And that trailer was amazing. I was like, ooh.
Yeah. Now, Nana brings up the fact that they're giving us Red Hood. And so I did bring that back, because that picture came out a while back. But dude. That's all you can say. That's a good picture right there, when all you can say is, dude. That's real, man. That's real. You know what I mean?
Wow.
That's some real stuff right there. The only thing that I'm concerned about this is it's going to be interesting to see how they tell the story. Because if you're trying to come in from a comic book purist, look, you're going to be like, well, it's a bit early in Jason Todd's story for them to bring about Red Hood. But you can see where they've been setting up for it. And look, I dig it. I dig it. It's good. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome. And I mean, just that design right there is fan-freaking-tastic. And I love Red Hood. I love the design. I got a couple Red Hood figures now. And like I said, like I went all in on like the Robins in general, like not just Dick Grayson, but like Dick Grayson, Jason Todd, Tim Drake, and even Damian Wayne. I've just gone totally in on the concept. Oh, and even I always get this wrong. Is it Katie Kelly or Carrie?
Carrie Kelly.
Carrie Kelly.
I watched it on The Dark Knight Returns.
Oh, I always mess it up if it's Carrie or Katie. I think it's Carrie.
I think it's Carrie.
But I even went in on her, man. I got a couple of her figures because I just love now the character of Robin so much. But yeah, Nana's right, man. They're giving us Red Hood. And then, I mean, look at this.
Wow.
Look at that.
It's come a long way since Chris O'Donnell, right?
Yeah. Heck yeah. I mean, just look at this. This is
dude, that looks amazing. I mean, that almost looks better than Batman's costume, man.
I know, man. This is fantastic. In the way that it looks. Let's see. Nana says, and honestly, I love the inner struggles and character development for Dick Grayson, especially in the first season. Absolutely, you are positively right. They've done a really good job of this show of basically raising the stakes for these characters that have kind of in the past been kind of looked at as sidekick characters. Yeah. Dick Grayson is a sidekick character, but I love the fact, especially being from Michigan, that Dick Grayson starts out in Detroit. He's working as a detective in Detroit, and he's out there, he's kicking butt, he's doing the thing, but he's mad at Batman, just as he should be. So it's very comic accurate in that aspect, and the way, the conflict and the inner struggles that he has to go through, and just the characters in general, Brian.
Yeah,
what they put these characters through in the first 2 seasons is remarkable. Like, it's really good writing. It's really good writing, and I don't understand why people. I don't understand why people just gotta hate on something. You know what I mean? It's like we just gotta hate on it. Back to Zentek's question. My personal view on it is I think that any home release will be the last thing that they do.
Yeah.
Everything else. Believe me, they're gonna want to make their money back through as much. As far, this is just my opinion, through as much
merchandising.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to want people to see this thing, whether or not it be on HBO Max, whether or not they do any kind of IMAX release of it or whatever. If it does go into theaters, for any run at all. But Zack Snyder even kind of hinted at the fact that they were going to do some kind of home release at some point. Everything ends up getting a home release because
it makes sense. I mean, everything comes out on Blu-ray someday.
Yeah. I mean, for now, as long as we get physical media, for now, Barcelona says, the Teen Titans were my first superheroes. I absolutely love the show. My parents also like the show, and they aren't big comic book fans. That's cool. That's really cool. I'm really looking forward to it coming back. I was just talking with Landon, my son, today, because he hasn't seen the show, and he's like, do you think I should watch that? And I'm like, heck yeah, you should watch it, dude. Like, I know that you love these characters. You're going to love these characters even more. Rasha says her hair looks amazing in the artwork. I really hope they can replicate it on screen because that's going to look so good. Says, I even liked it when Alfred was messing with his head and you couldn't tell who was real at first. Yep. And they did Hawk and Dove, dude.
Oh, wow.
And they did it well. Like they really made you feel like for Hawk and Dove, man. Like, like like I said, they've taken these characters that aren't necessarily, I mean, they're characters that people love. Don't get me wrong. Right. You know, so I don't want to diminish, you know, like Hawk and Dove or Teen Titans at all. But traditionally, I mean, there haven't been the big characters. Right. You know, and I mean, and when we look at like they've kind of been relegated to like your Teen Titans Go. So you get, you know, the kid show. Right.
Yeah.
Where this show is definitely not a kid's show. I mean, this isn't really a spoiler, but like Robin, he's like beating up some guys, man, in the first episode, and he literally he curb stomps a guy. Okay. I mean, like, we're talking some rough stuff, dude.
You don't see that in your
No. There's blood flying. He literally takes a guy, busts out the window of a car where it's jagged glass, and then takes the guy's face and runs his face across it. So, and like, is it that, or oh no, I'm sorry. He runs this guy's face across a brick wall. Yeah.
She's greater status.
Oh, dude, it's harsh. But so good. So good. And like everybody keeps saying the same thing. I like watching a character grow into what we're used to that being. Yes, I love to see how people get there. That is why Man of Steel is a masterpiece. That's why these characters do so well, I think, in this media, in these new mediums with ZACK and his vision for them and stuff. You know, I think that all right, Nana. Hey, it was good seeing you. Hey, get some sleep. Peace out.
Have a good night.
Thomas says, I like Titans going slow. Absolutely. You got to go slow, baby.
Well, no, that's what it's all about. It's that slow burn. And that's I was thinking about Star Trek Discovery today. And this is how I discovered the unmentionable guy with a helmet. Anyways, yeah.
Yeah.
It just looking back at the criticism that he had for Star Trek Discovery, and just the fact that he never gave it a shot and nobody gave it a damn shot, and this third season's actually pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, and they're bringing all sorts of concepts back and stuff like that. So it's like it's really funny that they were all complaining, but once they finally did the merger with Paramount and CBS to where there was no more lines between the two, it made all the difference. So,
yeah. Well, you know,
good slow burn.
Good slow burn, man. You know, there ain't nothing wrong with that.
I mean, how long was Battlestar Galactica? And I was sitting there every episode like, whoa.
Yeah, you know, I love the fact that everybody just keeps saying the same thing. They're all just like, it's just so good. You know, it's like Raven's story is pretty dark, but just so good. Just so good. You know,
not a fan of Titans. I'm sorry.
What's that?
I'm not a fan of Titans.
You're not a fan of Titans?
No, I'm not. I tried season 1.
How, Mladen? How? Please help me understand, because dude, I just cannot understand how you could not like this show.
Well, first of all, I don't like Dick Grayson. His whole thing is to try to be not like Batman, not like Bruce Wayne. And in the first episode, we see him killing people. And then as the episodes went on, he said he doesn't want to kill people. Dude, you just killed a couple of people in the very first episode.
Well, let me give you this though. Mladen. See, here's where I think that people get caught up on some of that stuff. If you look at Dick Grayson with his character arc for this entire show, okay, not just that first episode and not just that first season, but entirely. Here's the thing: Dick Grayson's lost, man. Dick Grayson is so lost at the beginning of all this. That's part of his journey to becoming Nightwing. I mean, that is his journey to becoming Nightwing, is finding himself, figuring out who he is. He is so angry at Bruce for all these perceived things of his childhood and putting him in danger and all those things, man. That messes with you. I love a story that actually deals with and like addresses the fact that those things mess with you. So you have a couple of different ideas about Dick Grayson here. You have the Dick Grayson that Dick wants to be, right? With these ideals that Dick actually has. But then you have this other Dick Grayson that cannot control his anger. He can't control his hatred. And every time he's beaten up somebody, he sees Bruce. He sees Batman. He sees what took away from him, what he feels that he was entitled to in his life. And he's angry, man. That's what he's lost. That's why he left and went to Detroit and tried to start over again. And he's running away from having to deal with all those things. And those were all concepts that were brought out in the comics years ago. I mean, years and years ago, when they got into like why Dick became Nightwing and stuff. There's a reason why he becomes Nightwing. There's a reason why he leaves Robin behind and he emerges as the Nightwing, because it's not just simply because, oh, I want to make a clever little, spin on Batman's name or something. You know what I mean?
It's not because he wants to create a new shiny costume. He has a reason. I get it. I just want to let me continue. Nightwing is not the problem. The actress who plays Raven, I just couldn't get behind her story. I think Dick Grayson and Starfire and Beast Boy are all good, but the actress who plays Raven, it doesn't work for me. And she's supposed to be whole goth, and when I look at her, I don't see goth. The whole goth thing.
Mm-hmm. I can see that. I mean, she's a little young, but I do think from the first season, and this is true for a lot of TV shows and just a lot of things in general. A lot of times you'll see people, especially when they're young, and they get a role like this that they have to portray a certain way or whatever. Like at first, it comes across as almost kind of wooden and very stiff, and I'll give you that. Her portrayal at first is a little wooden, it's a little stiff, but I do think she gets better. Like I do think she gets a lot better. She starts to really kind of grow into the role, and I think that's true. Like if we go back and we watch a lot of different TV shows where people portray different things, as a lover of all things TV, I watched so much TV as I was a kid. I mean, look at, I know Brian's a big fan of Star Trek. Brian, look at that first season of Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Awful.
Right? Awful. You look at the first season of Star Trek: The Next Generation. Everybody is so stiff, right? And I mean, it's like a ship full of datas, right? Right? Like seriously, like they're all just very like, oh,
not
well.
all are stiff in the Next Generation. I watched I'm currently on season 5, but I watched the first season. They're not all stiff. I didn't see Commander William Riker as stiff as, let's say.
No, I mean there were a couple of standouts in the first couple seasons, and Jonathan Frakes, Captain or Commander Riker, was one of them. Mm-hmm. But I mean Patrick Stewart, you can tell. Like
yes,
he was very stern, and he even said it. Like they've done there's a movie that William Shatner did called Chaos on the Bridge, where it talks about the turmoil in those first few seasons of Star Trek: The Next Generation. It's actually a really good story. It kind of talks about the decline of Gene Roddenberry and how his relationships ended, and then the power vacuum when he finally left the project and then passed away shortly thereafter. So, I mean, it's a really good story, but I kind of agree. There was a couple things. It just sucked that they got rid of Denise Crosby and they never showed her enough. Tasha Yar could have been a great character. But other than that,
I agree.
The first couple of seasons, aside from Will Wheaton's annoyance, they weren't as great. And that could be said about Voyager. Was the same way. Voyager took a little bit to get off the ground. Yeah. Enterprise took a little bit of time to get off the ground. Deep Space Nine was another one. And it's kind of funny how the third season is when it's kind of like we've gotten the backstory on our characters. Now it's time to tell the story. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's kind of weird how that does that on certain shows. But on the Titans thing, I'm interested in seeing how the production quality is better. Because Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., that's what took me out of it. Like... It looked awful. Like the first episode, I'm like, they're trying to pass this off as a movie or something, because It looks like they're shooting it with their cell phones.
Thank you, by the way, to Barcelona B. It's Carrie. I don't know why I can't like. I always mess that up. I always mess up the Katie, the Carrie Kelly thing. I always want to call her Katie for some reason. I don't know why, but yeah, no, that's just what the way that I look at like a couple of those characters, because I'll give you that, Mladen, the actress who plays Raven. I think at first, especially in the first season, she was really trying to figure out who the character of Raven was. And sometimes it's hard for an actor or an actress to commit to a certain way when they're not used, especially when they're younger, especially when they're younger. But man, I mean, now, Mladen, have you stuck with the show, or did you just quit watching it altogether?
I quit watching.
Okay. See, this is what I always encourage people to do. It's what I always encourage people to do. Like, I get it. There's shows, like, I'll be honest with you, like you just mentioned Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Brian. I think I got to season 4 and I was like, done. And I know a lot of people are telling me, like, oh, you just missed it. Right. And they're like, it got good. And I'm just like,
but that's what they always say. And then you watch the last season.
I stuck through the whole 7 seasons.
I did the first like 3 seasons or so, and I was just like, oh Lord, no, I just can't. Supergirl, man, I went through the first 3 seasons of Supergirl, and I liked Supergirl, but I just felt like that they totally like drove that show into the ground, and I checked out. Right, so I get it, but I always tell people, like, give it a couple seasons at least. Like, if it's a show that you want to like. Like, even if you don't like it, if it's a show that you want to be able to like, stick around long enough, because a lot of those issues that, like we were just talking about, it's funny to see how many of those issues do get worked out over time, with actors and stuff, and people discovering their characters, and actually maybe sometimes it's just the actors having more input into who their characters are.
Well, that, and you got to think of staff turnover. A lot of the writing staff over the first couple seasons of a show, they go through some writers, man. You know what I mean? To try to find the right stroke, as it were. So you got to give things a chance. You can't just prejudge things. You know what I mean? That would be being prejudiced.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that you're doing that, Mladen. I would just tell you.
No, I wasn't saying that either. I'm just talking in general.
I know, Inash. I know that you're not encouraging me that I'm prejudiced or something. Yeah, I know that you're not that type of guy.
Yeah, no, I like stuff. I just like, and I want other people to like stuff too. So it's like that's what I would just encourage, for that show, especially, is I think it did get better with some of those things that you just mentioned by the end of season 2. And that's why I'm really excited to see season 3. I think that they've had more time now to put into season 3, with the layoff and stuff, there were some people who were concerned about us not even getting a season 3, but let me tell you something, man. The end of season 2, the team comes together. We see Superboy. Dude, and I'm a huge fan of that Superboy, man. I love that Superboy. I love the way that they portray him in the show. I love Jason Todd in this show, because he's everything Jason Todd should be. The way that he's just a jerk. He's arrogant. He's entitled, and that's actually one of the things that turns Dick Grayson more towards being more of a fatherly figure even to Jason, because Dick sees a lot of himself in Jason, and he's trying to tell Jason, dude, you got to chill with this or it's going to consume you. It's literally going to destroy you, because Dick has gone through his own, faced his own
self-discovery.
Yeah. So it's good stuff for sure. I think this is an interesting thing from Farseer here. It says, I think Red Hood will be a time jump. That would be interesting. That'd be interesting. I wonder if there's going to be some kind of time jump. Michael says, what I'm curious about is that they are doing Red Hood without the story arc between Jason Todd, Batman, and the Joker. It seems that they are doing something completely different. Yeah, that is the thing. We're going to get definitely a different story than then if they don't do a time jump, we're gonna have to have a different story, because in the comics, I mean, that was like a 20-year time jump, like between the last time we saw Jason Todd and this. So hey, welcome. Before we go another second, we got to welcome to the show the one and only, the man on the couch. Here he is, Mr. Zod Ryder. What's going on?
It's so good to see you, gentlemen. What's going on?
Another fine evening.
Nice to meet you too, Zod.
Nice to meet you. What's going on tonight? I hear you guys talking about Jason Todd.
Heck yeah, man.
Pretty exciting topic.
I love, dude. I love there's all these pictures that came out this week, and I love that we literally only showed a couple so far. We haven't even gotten past Titans so far, and it's been a great discussion, man. We're talking about Titans and just like the new photos. Did you see the new photos of?
I didn't. What I did was I laid down. I went to sleep for a while. I woke up, and here you are. This is exciting. I'm like,
dude. So check this out.
Oh yeah, this I saw.
So you saw this. Okay.
This looks incredible. She looks incredible. Like there's no. Dude. She is Starfire.
Heck yeah, she is.
Oh my god.
Yeah, she is. Like, and then we were showing the photo that came out, a while back of Red Hood.
Oh yeah, there's that.
And then Dick Grayson. I'm so looking forward to seeing him.
That looks like right out of, what that looks like to me? That looks like right out of the Injustice video games.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it does. I do need to get through here. Zentek says, sorry, fellas, might have worded that wrong. I was referring to the soundtrack. My guess is that the soundtrack's going to probably come way later down the line. If I had to guess, that would be my guess. I mean, what do you guys think as far as like the Snyder cut? Do you think that they're going to release the soundtrack right away, or do you think that would be something that would come much later?
I'm wondering. I'm kind of thinking that maybe they'll release the soundtrack either shortly before the movie or shortly after the movie.
As long as they don't Phantom Menace it, where they put the track titles in there to where it ruins kind of the movie.
You know what I'd like to see them do if they really want to keep the secrecy but release the music. Just release the original soundtrack, release the album, and don't put any track titles.
There you go. No Qui-Gon's Noble End.
No. You can call me Joker. Says I would love to see a Red Hood series. The comic book is awesome. Hey, dude.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Let's see. Rasha says, for those of us that don't have HBO, is anyone going to do watch-alongs on Twitch? So here's something interesting. Traditionally, we have done our watch-alongs, like our watch parties, when we do it, we've done it just on YouTube, right? And that's how we do the Mandalorian right now, because we don't show them on the screen. It's just that in the back. Just because also I've also wanted to maximize the amount of people who can watch with us, right? And sometimes like I notice that, like, I know a lot of people go on Twitch, but there's only a certain group of people who even find out about it then. And it's like,
you go from having about 20 people watching on YouTube to about 6.
Yeah. And part of the excitement is to have a lot of people. So Rasha, I'm actually toying with this idea of trying to figure out a way to do both, whether it means I have to set up like a phone or an iPad and keep that going on to do the YouTube thing, so where we don't show the screen, and then if people want to come over to Twitch, they can come over to Twitch and maybe do the Twitch thing as well, so that we can actually watch it. I don't know yet.
But Zack Snyder did say they are working out an international distribution deal. So even if you don't have HBO, it's probably going to be available all around the world by the time it gets released.
I'm hoping it gets released on HBO Go because I have that one.
Oh yeah. Deathstroke is in Titans as well, and Deathstroke, oh my gosh. Look, Deathstroke looks great on Titans. And the way that they done his character is fantastic on Titans. Now, I did want to bring up this picture because this picture came out last week for Zack Snyder's Justice League, and we're going to talk about that in a minute. But I didn't anticipate talking about Deathstroke Titans. But man, he looks great. And you are right, Barcelona. The actor who plays Hawk from Hawk and Dove on Titans was Aquaman.
Yes, he was.
Yep. Yep.
Wait a minute.
Rasha had your back. Yeah.
That's really Hartley, the same guy.
No. You're thinking.
Green Arrow.
I'm thinking he played Aquaman. He played Aquaman in the pilot for Aquaman.
Yes. It's a weird so weird. Weaving there of things. So
that's what I was thinking about at the time. That's why I said Aquaman.
You're right. Jason Hartley played Aquaman when they were before they introduced Aquaman on Smallville. They were talking about doing an Aquaman TV show called. Do you remember what it was called?
Aquaman.
No, it was called Mercy Reef.
Oh.
Yeah, because it was weird. They were going to.
When I watched,
you've got it on your Plex.
Aquaman.
Yeah, you've got it on your Plex. Yeah, I know. And they eventually called it Aquaman, but it was originally the TV show was originally going to be called Mercy Reef, and and it was
thing to know.
Yeah, and it was going to be Aquaman, but Jason Hartley played Aquaman. Ving Rhames was on that.
I remember.
Yeah, Ving Rhames was on that, and so they were going to tell this whole story. Well, it just did the pilot, which actually wasn't a bad pilot.
No, it actually is a pretty decent pilot, if you want to know the truth.
Yeah,
I mean, especially when they were trying to go for a somewhat comic book accurate Aquaman at the time.
Mm-hmm. I mean, they called him AC. It was interesting, but that being said, so they ended up recast. The show never got picked up, and so then they recast him as Green Arrow on Smallville, and then they brought in the other guy who is now Hawk on on Titans. He's Hawk from Hawk and Dove on Titans, but he came in and played Aquaman. And I'll tell you what, people can say whatever they want to about Smallville, but look me in the eye, and like Hans and Franz on Saturday Night Live said, "Hear me now, believe me later." There's a lot to be said for Smallville and for its interpretation and its presentation of stuff. We got to see stuff on Smallville that we never got to see in live action before, back then or since. And I know, like, Ryan teases the Hawkman thing. You know, it looks like he has a diaper or whatever. Like, look, that Hawkman helmet. There's always going to be parts that are silly looking and whatever, but man, Smallville gave us a lot of stuff that, I mean, they gave us the Legion of Superheroes. They gave us the Wonder Twins. They gave us, yes, some of it I felt like they overdid because, yes, they gave us Doomsday and they gave us every Superman villain before he even became Superman. But man, they gave us some really good stuff on Smallville. And that was one of the things that they gave us that, So I dig it. I dig it. I'm trying to get through here because I know that I need to get to I went too far. I'm in the chat. Hey, what's up, Ryan? First of all, I want to say, Ryan, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. You are awesome, Ryan. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate you, man. Says, did you hear that the Egyptian Theater is converting their parking lot into a drive-in theater? I did not hear that.
There you go.
That's from Deadline.
Nah, if theaters want to survive, they have to adapt. So that's one way of doing it.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? What do you guys think of that?
It's going to be interesting to see if more and more drive-in theaters are going to pop up.
Oh, I wish I could buy a defunct one. I mean, if we can all just go in on one of those ones that's just kind of got the weeds growing up through the pavement, hasn't been used in years, shoot.
Well, I'll tell you
what, digital projectors in there.
I've got what do I got? I've got 2. Well, we used to have 2 here in my area, and they closed one, which is kind of like what you just described now, where it's kind of
it's just nature's taking its course, kind of.
Yeah, but it could still be cleaned up. I mean, you could go in with a little bit of money, I mean, because look. I don't know. I don't want to undersell what it costs to run a drive-in, but I will say this, that I mean, if you're just talking about building a little place, in the middle, right, where you have to do the broadcast from and stuff, and I know that a lot of the stuff a lot of the money is going to be about the equipment to run the movies, you know.
Okay.
But you know, but like I know the one that we have, probably you could probably fix it up and probably not have to put too much money into it. And you know, by next summer, if we're still in this situation, that'd probably be a good alternative.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and then the other one that we have is 3 screens strong. It's awesome. We go there every year. We set up, man. We take the van. We take all the seats out of the van. We set them out and everything. The kids lay down in the back of the van because we take all the seats out of the van. We got bucket seats. We got a couple of bucket seats that we could just sit in here like this, or we've got a bench. You know,
you're ready to go, Enosh.
Dude. The kids bring friends and everything, and we go out there. We pop our own popcorn. We just take bags of popcorn. Like let's pop our own popcorn, put it in like grocery bags or whatever, you know, and take that. We'll bring all of our snacks and everything. We'll just camp out there, man, and like open up the back, turn on the sound system of the car.
The good old double feature, man. The good old double feature.
Yeah.
First one I saw was the Flintstones, and the movie on afterwards was Jurassic Park.
They're up there. Encino Man.
Yeah, right?
Right, yeah.
Oh, Encino Man was awesome. No, he's in the juice.
No, he's in the juice. So here's that story that Ryan was talking about here. Hollywood to get its own drive-in movies at Egyptian theater parking lot. This is interesting. It says the pandemic-fueled national revival for the classic American drive-in movie theater continues, and even the dense Los Angeles neighborhood of Hollywood is getting into the act. It says they're backing the arena drive-in Hollywood. The venue will be located behind the landmark
Hollywood is
Egyptian
desperate
theater.
for money right now.
Oh,
that's what this says. They're looking for any way they can scrape up any scraps.
Well, they haven't had tourism in months.
Yeah, it says here the first screening will bow on December 1st this year with Wander, a thriller starring Aaron Eckhart, Kathleen Winnick, Heather Graham, Roger Dorman, and Tommy Lee Jones. Our aim is to bring the same bespoke charisma Arena Cine Lounge is known for as an independent theater to the drive-in experience, says the owner. We're excited to be exhibiting and curating again and look forward to continuing to offer audiences new classic and culturally relevant content. Now this holy cow, though. Wait a second. It says art installations, laser light shows, and popcorn are also on the drive-in menu. Admission is $40 per car, which covers up to 5 moviegoers. Well, that's not bad. It's not bad.
I'm gonna say jam a car full, have a couple people under blankets.
That's interesting that they're okay. That's not bad. Masks are required if you need to leave your vehicle. The Egyptian theater is now owned by Netflix.
Oh, okay.
Which is not affiliated with the drive-in project. The drive-in project. Yeah, I mean, I guess $40 isn't bad. It sounds like a lot at first. But, you know, we got a family of 5.
Yeah, I was going to say, how much that costs you to watch a matinee?
The only thing about the drive-in that sucks is the fact that you have to you have to go at night, right? So the sun has to be down, and that means you're going to be there till 1 or 2 in the morning at least.
Oh, yeah, especially if you stay to watch the second movie.
Exactly. And so, but it looks like they're just doing one film. You know, and I mean, and it's in California, so you're gonna get probably the most out of it. You know, it's because it's you know, it's warmer.
You don't really have to deal with the elements. It's not snowing outside.
I love Goober. Don't see curb stomping and Teen Titans Go. That's funny.
Ooh, yeah.
But yeah, I like the idea. Hey,
I had this
J
idea
Bell, I saw your comment, and I'm just not putting up your comment right now just because it is a spoiler for season 2. But I agree with you. But I think that they're going to retcon that somehow, Jay. I think that they're going to fix that a little bit, and so we'll have to wait and see what they do with that storyline with Wonder Girl, Donna Troy. So.
What's going on, Nicotina?
Well, what's going on? Nicotina's in the house. Okay.
What's up, Nicotina?
I'm just looking here also through. Oh, hey, guess what? Our good buddy. I love this. Our good friend ZenTech has decided to join us.
Hey,
Hold on a second. Let's get him in here and get this screen unshared there. What's up, ZenTech?
what's up,
G'day.
buddy?
Well,
Hey,
then,
Zentech. What's up,
G'day,
man?
fellas. How's it going?
Pretty good.
Going well, man. How are things down under?
Yeah, pretty good. Just knocked off work just before, so yeah, I thought I'd just quickly jump in. Actually, I can't jump in for long. Just wanted to quickly say, in regards to like Titans, is my volume okay?
Yeah, your volume's great. It's perfect, actually.
Okay, sweet. In regards to Titans, I think one of the reasons why I like that more than all those CW sort of shows is that it's got like it's not like that villain of the week aesthetic. It's not like trying to fill in a story for the sake of filling in that story for that week. You know what I mean?
Yes,
it's just
I know.
one full narrative kind of thing, and the whole show sort of just goes from there. The other thing I was going to say is that Enosh, you know, I'm a bit of a music guy, so like with all these like movies that come out, I always look forward to the soundtracks the most. So I usually get the soundtrack first, and that usually comes out just before the movie. So that's why I was asking about the soundtrack. Do you guys think it's going to come out beforehand? But yeah,
I hope it does come out beforehand because it would just be nice to have a decent Justice League soundtrack to listen to. I mean, we've suffered through the Danny Elfman music long enough. I mean, come on, man.
yeah. I re-listened to yesterday actually the Batman '89 theme. I still really like that theme, but like I don't think it fits in this aesthetic of
not at all.
No.
Yeah.
Not at all.
It kind of pulled me out of the movie, honestly.
And the whole thing was like they told Danny Elfman, okay, whip up something as nostalgic as possible. Put as many callbacks to previous superhero movies. Hell, you could even drop the Avengers theme in there if you want to, Danny. We just need something quick. And that's
the only part of it I did
Dawson?
like was the John Williams cue, though. That song to me, the original Superman theme, is freaking amazing. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but it was done horribly in Justice League though, because it was da 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 da. Da, da, da. Like it was like my problem is if you're gonna go with it and you're gonna include John Williams' theme in there, include John Williams' theme. Don't bastardize the theme and mess it up and then we never hear it again. I mean, it was.
I think
Zod, stop right there, Zod. I just always wanted to say that. But no, let me speak to that a little bit because it's funny that you say that you don't like that. Oh, hey Jay, don't worry about that, man. Don't worry about that. You're okay. You're all good. But no, as far as that, like, I actually don't have a problem with the fact that like it's a hint. It wasn't meant to be like full on. We're just going to use the theme. It was, hey, we're going to play a part of it. Because they did that on Smallville. They've done that on a lot of different shows. But
on Smallville, I mean, they really, when you look at what they did with it on Smallville, they actually totally paid homage to it. There were times they did. There were times they did that, but there were times how they used it in Smallville.
There were times they did, but there were also times where they did just what you're talking about right there. Because actually, I kind of liked when they went the da 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 bum. Like it was
almost like it was like a metaphor for the movie, like epic fail, like bah, bah, bah. Like it was.
But musically though, I liked that change. I liked that. I like weird musical. I don't know. Help me out. Help me out here, Zed.
I can see where you're going. I can see where you're going with this.
I like strange things with music where it's like you think you know where the music's going, and then it throws you a curveball, and you're like,
it kind of makes sense there.
The first couple times you hear it, you're like, oh, I don't know if I like that, and then all of a sudden, like if you listen to it more and more, it's like your brain gets used to it, and you go, yeah, I kind of dig that.
Well, you got to think at that time he wasn't Superman. You know what I mean? He didn't have his mental facilities all at once there.
That was I think the scene Zod's talking about was at the end of Justice League.
No. I'm talking
No,
about
the
the scene
Flash.
where he's fighting the Justice League. That's when you first hear the
Oh yeah.
when
Yeah.
And the
he's
Flash
back.
is like,
That's what I'm talking about. Where
But
when he's coming back. And
okay. Well,
it's,
then even more so, I would say that sets it up musically where he's Superman, but he's not. I think it speaks to Brian's point then that he's Superman, but he's not Superman, and so there's something wrong about it. And so
right, it's almost
because it
like
changes when he looks.
It's like a bizarro twist.
Yes.
On the music, but again,
and they're basically saying that with the music. They're saying, "Hey, look, it's Superman." Bum, ba, da, ba, bum, 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 bum. Like it's not, and I'm going to keep doing that. Bum, bum, because it's just fun to do. But I think what they're doing is they're telling the story. There's with music of this is Superman, but it's not Superman. There's something off.
Yeah.
I agree. No, sorry, I'm a big fan of telling like a story through music, and I think that's why with Danny Elfman's soundtrack, it was kind of like he had the characters, but that's from like a different universe and a different aesthetic and all that, and you can't tell the musical story with these characters. You can't just shift them over to because these are completely different characters.
Right.
They have different motivations, different origins. Well, they have the same origins, but like. Yeah, there was something else I was going to. Oh, yes. I remember watching an interview. It might have been, must have been with Junkie XL, but he was talking about when he created the Lex Luthor theme, and that's supposed to be a bit of a play on Superman's theme because it's sort of similar notes, but they
just made it backwards.
Well, it was like detuned, like a detuned piano. It's still playing that. Dun, 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 you know that.
Yep.
The Man of Steel Superman theme. But Lex is like that kind of the sort of same sort of notes, but it's like a detuned piano. It's like reverse. Actually, you're right.
That's what they did. They basically reversed the Man of Steel Superman theme. So and then they they inverted it a little bit, and then that's what we got. And that was brilliant. I mean,
for sure.
Talk about like a play on music. I mean, I thought that was fantastic. And going back to what you were saying about the whole Danny Elfman thing. Yeah, you could take that soundtrack and you could use that in the context of if you were in the right era of superheroes, but because you're trying to take the Snyder aesthetic of those characters and use that music. That's the whole reason why it felt so off and out of place.
Yeah, for sure. And that together with the odd shots of, the Whedon and Snyder, and then for me, the soundtrack as well is just like all messy and all over the place. And that's just another reason why I don't like Justice League 2017. Yeah.
What's up, Barcelona? Hey, thanks for being here, Barcelona.
It could be like insert pop song Suicide Squad.
Oh, man.
Suicide Squad has to be as much like Guardians of the Galaxy as possible.
That's what the kids are into, right?
It has to be Guardians of the Galaxy in every sense of the word except the name.
I can almost picture some guy with a big old cigar going, that's what the kids are into these days.
Go ahead, Zentek.
I was going to say, no, you're right, man. I think there was some sick shots in Suicide Squad. So I think with those weird, like fixing up the edits of it, and I think this, replacing those poppy or, teeny poppy songs with an actual score would actually like bring some more weight to those characters, and that's why I've always liked scores in films. Like I like epic sort of scores. Obviously, Star Wars has one of the most epic scores, so that's what sort of brought that weight to those characters for me. But again, that's me because I always look from a musical standpoint to have that as a layer of backing or something. People that are more film orientated probably look at like camera angles and stuff like that. But
No, I agree. And look, I'm someone like I definitely want to see the Ayer cut of Suicide Squad. So don't get me wrong when I say this, but I really like Suicide Squad.
Yeah, you said that once before. I remember. Yeah.
Like I really like Suicide Squad.
Mm.
And
It's all right. I just don't like the music. I like honestly.
so I'm just gonna be honest with you. I love the music in Suicide Squad.
Okay, individually those songs are great. It's just
I don't know, man. I love them. Like I like the only problem that I have with Suicide Squad. The only problem that I have with Suicide Squad are the weird little putty creatures at the end, which were about. And look, I didn't like them before I knew that they were supposed to be parademons. Now I like them even less because they were supposed to be parademons and not, weird, bubbly looking, whatever those things were.
googly eyes.
Yeah, whatever that crap was. But there's that, and then I did not like the. It's funny because all the things that I didn't like are the things that they said that have been said that like weren't supposed to be, right. So I didn't like the brother to Enchantress. I didn't like his thing, and apparently he's supposed to be Steppenwolf because it's supposed to set up for Justice League.
Didn't someone ask Snyder about that at the SnyderCon, and he said he didn't know, or he was like, or something like that.
I don't know.
That's
always what's been out there. I haven't heard that be debunked. If anybody has heard that been debunked,
I could be making it up. So
yeah, I don't know. I haven't personally heard it being debunked. But if it is, it is. But I thought the brother, like some of the animation stuff was a little weird with him and things. And then at the end with Enchantress and her whole weird dance and all that weirdness that made me feel uncomfortable. And honestly, the animation there was horrible. It was really, really bad. The CGI there.
Yeah, you can tell they cut a lot of corners. With that movie.
Yeah, but I'm just being honest with you. If I have to be honest with you, I love the music in it. I love where they put the music in it. I love like the music that goes along with Harley Quinn and the whole you don't own me. I don't know, man. Like I know a lot of people hate on it, and you guys know like I'm very vocal when it comes to the Snyder Cut. I'm very vocal when it comes to stuff, protecting DC and stuff like that. And I know that, like I said, I'm all for seeing David Ayer's cut because if that's not David Ayer's vision for the movie and that wasn't how he wanted it, then I want to see David Ayer's version, right? I want to see his vision and I want to see what he put in there, because I trust that as well. But like I don't know, man. I like it. Like I can't. I don't jump on that same thing. There's problems with it for sure. But honestly, I just watched it like a few weeks ago, and I was just like, man, I like this movie. Every time you ever have that, like when you watch a movie,
the theatrical cut or the extended edition? There's two versions available right now. So
yeah, I think it was the extended version.
I was going to say I was looking at Zod Rider because I'm like, oh I swear he's got a hot take and he's holding back right now.
Cylon Scotty with the 9.99 super chat. A wonderful member of the channel.
What's happening?
Cylon Scotty is a great guy, man, for real. Wow.
Cylon, I'll tell you what, Cylon and Sophie have become such good friends. I love them, and I don't get to talk to them as much as I would like to, actually. But I know Sophie and Tiff, man, they're texting each other constantly, and I love that. They've become really good friends, and nice. I love these guys, and hey, yeah. I love having the channel because there's just people that I've gotten to know and I get to talk to, I love when I have conversations with people, like real people, like you're not just part of my stream or, whatever. It's like, but we have a real conversation outside of this. And so, Zentet and I have had a couple of good conversations, about different things. So, but Cylon says, don't interrupt anyone to read this, because that's just the kind of guy Cylon is. Look at him. He says, great panel tonight. Hello to my nerd brother, Brian. Knew that was coming. Good to see you all. You all help me stay excited for being a nerd. That's awesome. Love you, Scotty.
I have to rearrange my Cylon poster.
Heck yeah. I love Cylon Scotty. He's awesome. So, but yeah, I mean, the thing is like, I think with any property, we can find, things that we like, right? and I mean things that we don't like. I've often talked about even Justice League. There's a lot about that movie I don't like. Right? There's a lot about that movie I don't like. But I already know that when I see the Snyder Cut, even though it's 4 hours and it's going to be 4 hours of greatness, there's going to be a couple of scenes that you go, oh yeah, that wasn't his. And it's just going to be something that because you've seen it over and over and over again, you know, I mean, have you guys thought about that at all or given any thought to that?
How many times have you seen Justice League? Because I'm going to be honest with you, I seen it, you know, in the theater, and then every other time that I've watched it, it's been a fan edited version where they put back as many Snyder scenes as possible as they can. It's been rescored. So, you know, for me, I've actually only watched Justice League the one time in the movie theater, and then beyond that, it's just it's just that's how much of a turnoff it was for me. So when people say, you know, and that's what I love about the fact that it's such a bad movie. I only watched it once, and it was so quotable. Where for all the wrong reasons, you can remember all the bad quotes from the movie, and it's just like I'm just curious, Enosh, how many times have you seen Justice League?
Well, I'll be honest with you. Every time I've ever watched Justice League, it's been that I've never watched another fan edit.
Oh wow, man! You need. I got a really, really good fan edited version on Plex.
I saw it. I saw that you did.
That tries to fit. Basically tries to truncate Snyder's vision into under 2 hours. It's pretty awesome. You should definitely check it out.
I did see that you had that. I have not watched that yet, but I did see that you had that. But yeah, every time I've watched the movie, I've watched the regular theatrical version of the movie. I think for me, I mean, I've seen it. My goodness, I mean, I own it. Probably 10 times.
Oh wow.
Yeah. I mean, I've probably seen it 10 times, and or actually no, it's probably just a smidge over that because we saw it like 2 or 3 times in the theater, and then and then that as well. But I will say that I like scenes that I'm talking about are like, for example, the stinger at the end between Superman and the Flash, right? When they have the race at the end, you know, when they talk, you know, do a prelude to them racing. That's going to be a scene that I miss, to be quite honest with you, just because I love that in the comics. I love that. I've got, you know, a couple of comics where, you know, Superman and the Flash race. And I think that that's an awesome moment in comics history. Is anytime, you know, that you've had the classic like Superman versus.
It could have looked awesome if Henry Cavill's face wasn't still messed up.
Agreed. But you're also talking about a guy here who can watch Superman 4 and still enjoy it.
I love Superman 4 though. I'm going to tell you something.
And there's all kinds of issues.
Have you seen the? I've got an edit. Once again, I'm plugging my Plex server because I put a lot of fan edits on there. I have a fan edit of Superman 3 and 4 called Superman Redeemed. And if you watch this movie, it actually makes the plots of Superman 3 and Superman 4 into one coherent film to where it actually makes sense. I challenge you to watch that edit, and then I want to have you on the Zod Rider show to discuss it. Because my friend, I'm telling you right now, when I saw that, I was like, my God, if they would have done this, if this is what they actually would have chose to do, it actually feels like a proper sequel where it actually makes sense.
So I'll be honest with you. So a couple things. One, first of all, Silent Scotty says, I love the music in the scene where Harley goes into the vat. That scene had such a great atmosphere. I totally agree with that. And then I do want, Geek says, I've never seen Superman 4. That's a whole other thing. But I do want to give Brian some proper acknowledgement. Thank you, Brian, for joining us tonight, man.
Yeah, I got to get going, man.
Hey, Brian, before you go,
Yes,
Brian,
sir.
before you go, do you have to you have to work again? Are you working Sunday? Or are you going to be able to join us again on the PlayStation podcast?
I'm working Sunday, but if you guys do it later in the afternoon, I should be able to get out in time.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, I had a blast.
I'll put that in the thing so that they know. Hey, let's do it later so we can get Brian on again.
Oh yeah, that was a blast. I had so much fun.
All right, man.
That's where Isaac was on, right?
Yeah.
Isaac was on.
Isaac, and Isaac is awesome.
Oh, absolutely.
It's always great to have more people from the Poindexter Lounge popping up on stuff like that. That is such a fun show to do.
We're branching out, man. Like we got
you guys are entertainment family.
Isaac's doing the video game thing. Tiffany's gonna be on the League of Mayhem. On the League of Mayhem tomorrow.
She's gonna meet Zack Snyder and
right. She's gonna meet Zack Snyder
before all of us.
I'm gonna be hanging out with Zack Snyder and everything, and I'm just gonna be, little old me here going, "Oh, I wish I could meet Zack Snyder."
You just got a photo bomb. Just pretend like you're taking her something. Hey,
I swear to God, because she's gonna be right. She's gonna be right here, and I swear to God, you're gonna see my face like come right around Boba Fett, like.
Super fast. It's gonna be almost whiplash speed the way Enosh's face is gonna come across once Zack Snyder pops up on that Zoom.
You're gonna cut holes in the Superman cutout.
I'm right here, guys. I'm right here. Anything you want to know about, I'm right here. I'll answer.
You have a great night, Brian.
Have a good night, guys.
Awesome as always.
See you, buddy.
Later, guys.
I was gonna say it's the Poindexter Lounge movie podcast universe of people.
There you go. Absolutely, man. That's Landon wants to he wants to branch out and actually do some live streaming of some video games and stuff like that. And I definitely encourage that, like with the whole family, man. It's like get out there, guys, do your thing, represent, and I'm all for that, man. When Tiffany told me tonight that she was going to be on the League of Mayhem, I was just like, good for you. That's awesome. I just think it's cool that I have a wife that's into that. You know what I mean? That is into nerd stuff enough, man, that she's like, yeah, I want to do that. Heck yeah, I want to do that. So anyways, I don't remember where we were right then. I was talking about a couple of things, but
I wanted to ask you about Superman 4.
Yes. So I would say this. I agree on Superman 4. The Superman 4 has a lot of issues. I don't see a darn thing wrong other than the fact that Webster should have been Lex Luthor, the real Lex Luthor, as far as a business tycoon, type of standpoint. And they should have done Brainiac. They should have done Brainiac.
But when you see this edit,
but I love Superman 3.
But when you see this edit, I think you will love it. I think you'll turn.
Oh, I'm sure I will.
You'll be like, my God, I could totally see what you were talking about.
Yeah, I'm sure I will. I'm sure I will. It's just that I always say, I see a lot of issues, obviously, with Superman 4 and with Canon Films and the way that they screwed that movie up.
Did you see how much additional Enosh?
Yes, I know, man.
Footage there was for 4. 4 has so much footage. That's another thing about this great fan edit that I'm talking about. There's so much stuff.
Yeah.
From Superman 4 that they were able to use, that they were able to.
And that's awesome. And so I love that. But Superman 3, I defend Superman 3 because I don't find anything wrong with Superman 3. I think Superman 3 is a great story, of him going back to Smallville with Lana. And it still has some of the same silliness, you know what I mean? Come on, the guy sneezes at a bowling alley and the ball shatters, every pin, nobody's gonna turn around and go, oh, he's Superman.
There's so much more to Nuclear Man that we didn't get in Superman 4, though, which I find tragic.
How do you pronounce Nuclear Man?
Nuclear. We all pronounce it wrong. Because we nuclear.
I remember seeing a compilation of that. That was hilarious.
Yes, yeah. It's supposed to be nuclear.
Hey, Zod Rider, what was that? You mentioned. Is it a social media thing where you put movies up?
Plex.
Plex.
Yeah,
I've never heard of that.
Media here, I'll put it in the private. It's my own private server. I'll put it in the private chat, and you can go ahead and access it.
Oh, sick! Yeah.
Plex is a really cool thing. I got another buddy who has a Plex. Basically, you can get your own digital movies and stuff, and it's basically a nice digital library of all of your stuff. And so then you make your own account, and so you can add to your own account, but people can also share with you their stuff. And Zod, I'll tell you what, Zod has an amazing library of stuff, man. Zod, I gotta tell you, man, your library of films and but like you mentioned, even fan films and stuff like that. Zod's got all kinds of fan films in there and stuff, you know, that I've seen online and on YouTube and everything over the years. But one is it's funny, man, you have on there Lex for President.
Yeah, I actually have that movie on DVD. I bought it.
So do I.
I bought it at a comic book convention. And I ripped it myself and put it on Plex.
Yep, I have that exact DVD, man. I've got that DVD. I bought it on eBay. And so like I was like, hey, he's got that on there. That's cool. But yeah,
I've got the Justice League from the 1990.
Yes,
I think it was what year? 1997 was it?
Something like that. Yeah.
Where they do it almost like it's like a sitcom.
So bad. So bad. Oh my gosh, it's so bad. It's so horrible, but it's one of those things that are so good. Like so bad, it's good. Like you got to watch it once.
Sorry, guys.
No,
do you have to pay to? Do I have to make an account? Like, is this a paid service?
Yeah. No, it's not a paid service. It's not a paid service. You'll have to make an account to be able to access it, and then you basically you'll go in and you'll access his. So basically, you'll link his Plex to your Plex so that you can see his library.
Yeah, sick. I've never even heard of it before.
It's cool. Ryan asks, what did you think about Richard Pryor in Superman 3? I like Richard Pryor.
He was digitally removed from Superman Redeemed. Just letting you know, there's no Richard Pryor in Superman.
Really?
Redeemed.
Okay. I mean, like, I think some of the best. I mean, like, I know a lot of people have a hard time with the comedy in Superman 3, but honestly, I don't have a problem with it. I actually don't have a problem with it. And Richard Pryor, I don't have a problem with.
No, I don't have a problem with him either. But it's nice. It was just nice to see, another interpretation of what they were doing. Again, because you can go back and you can watch, Superman 3 and 4 and be completely happy with it.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, so what I'll do is I'll watch I watched the long cut of Superman the movie. I like the 3-hour version of Superman the movie. And then what I'll watch Superman 2, the hybrid cut, which is a fan edit of Superman 2 that takes the best elements of Richard Lester's version and Richard Donner's version and makes a coherent version of Superman 2. So you have that, and that's really well done. And then after Superman 2, I'll watch Superman Redeemed. So I'll have like a very cohesive Christopher Reeve trilogy. It's amazing.
Hey geeks, thank you, man. Thank you for being here and for stopping by, man. I appreciate you, buddy. And you stay awesome, man. I did want to bring up Efren's thing here. So for me, the best Christopher Reeve scene, and look, that's always a hard thing because Christopher Reeve just looks like Superman. He literally looks like he walked out of the stinking comic book. And I mean, he wears spandex, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the guy's wearing spandex and he looks good wearing spandex. But I will say for me, it's probably a combination of things because I think that the two go together because they rhyme and they're written that way. And that is Superman 2, the scene where, Clark finds out about Zod for the first time when they're on their way back from the fortress.
Yes.
And he gets beat up by the trucker, and it's a very emotional moment because, he's talking to Lois and he's like, she's like, he's like, they knew they told me, but I just didn't listen. And, she's like, I don't want another man. I want the man I fell in love with. And he's like, I know, Lois, I wish he was here right now. And that's an emotional moment, but there's that whole, thing between him and the trucker where the trucker, where he asked the trucker, hey, excuse me, sir, do you care to step outside? Right. And does the whole, do you want to step outside? And the guy's like, oh yeah, after you. And Clark gets his, butt handed to him. But then when Superman shows up after getting his powers back, and is out on the flagpole of the Daily Planet just outside of Perry White's office, and he flies up in just classic moment and just crosses his arms and says, "Excuse me, General, would you care to step outside?" That is
which is one of the reasons why I love the hybrid cut of Superman 2, because in Richard Donner's cut of Superman 2, they changed that line.
And that line should stay the same. That's why I defend that line.
Iconic. That line is iconic. That line should stay. And in the hybrid cut, that line is in there where it should be, and it's beautiful because he says when in the Donner cut, he says, "Don't you believe in freedom of the press?" And it's just not. It just doesn't fit. It's not. No.
That's my favorite Christopher Reeve moments. I mean, there's so many that it's hard to just put all in just to one. But that's my.
I can truncate mine down to one. For me, my favorite is when Superman, out of anger, when he realizes that Lois Lane is dead, and he goes up and he turns back the world. That scene is so iconic because it jumps right out of the pages. It reminds me of the Crisis on Infinite Earths comic book, because you actually see Superman's rage, Superman's anger, his frustration, his emotion. That's a very emotionally powerful moment. It's almost like it's similar for me in emotional weight when right at how Superman reacts in Man of Steel right after he snaps Zod's neck.
I love Raj. Just like, remember, you're doing a week in pictures. Remember, Mladen, do you have a favorite Superman moment though?
Favorite Superman moment. What about the interview with Lois Lane on the balcony, and when she asked him, "Can you see everything through your X-rays? What kind of panties am I wearing?" And he responds, "Pink ones." Yes, about your underwear.
Yeah, I love that because that's such an innocent moment between him and Lois, because at first, she asked him that question and he can't see because of the planter, because it's made out of lead, and that's when she finds out that he can't see through lead. And at first she thinks that she embarrassed him because he looks down, and classic Christopher Reeve moment, because like he kind of holds his chin like this and does this little thing that Christopher Reeve did, and he did it several times in the movies, where he would kind of hold his chin and then kind of hold almost his lower lip in kind of thought like this, and he's looking and he's kind of thinking, and then she says the line, "Oh, I'm sorry, I embarrassed you," and he goes, "Oh, no, Miss Lane." He's like, this planter must be made out of lead. And she goes, "Yeah, it is." And he goes, "Well, I kind of have a hard time seeing through things made out of lead." And then she steps away from the planter, and then he's just like, immediately he's like, "Pink." And you see this innocence in his face, like, "Ooh, pink." And she's like, "What?" And he's like, "Oh, your underwear." And she's like, "Oh," and she steps back behind the planter, and it's just, it's such a cute moment between the two of them. That's like this innocent, moment, because, and then he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to embarrass you, Miss Lane," and so those are those are great things. And then Thomas here says the helicopter scene's great, where he's like, "I've got you," and she's like, "You got me. Who's got you?" That's awesome. Zenta stepped away. I was going to ask his, but maybe when we get back. But yeah, we were talking about photos. So you guys watch The Witcher?
Yes, I watched the TV show.
Yeah, so we got a couple of behind the scenes.
He looks very Superman-ish in that photo. Just
yes, he
covered.
does.
Doesn't he?
Yes, he does.
You can tell.
Yeah. We got some candid pictures here of him eating.
He's eating a TV dinner.
Yes. Yeah. But
that's more like it.
There you go. You know what he looks like? He looks like Luke Skywalker there, like Jedi Luke from Return of the Jedi. There.
Return of the Jedi, yeah. Down to the way his chin looks.
Yeah, man. His chin, and then even like the medallion. I mean, like, you know what I mean? Like it almost it's very Jedi looking for sure.
Have you guys seen that Enola Holmes?
I have
movie
not.
yet? Is that
I
Nola?
have.
Enola Holmes? Yeah.
I haven't seen.
Oh, yeah, any good?
Uh,
Is that any good?
On my honest opinion, it's pretty good, innocent movie if you want to show it to your kids and family members.
Sure.
It doesn't ruin Sherlock Holmes or anything. The only nitpick I had with the movie is the back and forth between a flashback and a present during a fight scene. You will see it, what I mean, but that's the only nitpick I had with the movie. But overall, I had a blast watching it. I thought it was gonna be, I don't know, crap fest, but it didn't turn out to be.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I still have yet to see it. I still have yet to see it. So, but it's definitely on my list of things.
It's on Netflix, isn't it?
Yes, it's on Netflix.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, Netflix.
Yeah, there's that other there's another Henry Cavill movie. Oh, is it The Man from U.N.C.L.E.? I still haven't seen that, and I really like that's Guy
actually
Ritchie,
that's
right?
actually pretty decent, that movie. Yeah.
That's a Guy Ritchie film.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
Tiffany,
Guy Ritchie,
Tiffany wants to see that movie so bad. Tiffany wants to see that movie so bad, and I just we've not gotten around to it. And I don't know why. We just haven't gotten around to seeing it yet.
Watch Party.
That would be a good movie to do a watch party for sure. What's up, Mountains of Elysium? Says, good morning, fellow nerds. Greetings at Poindexter Lounge panel and fellow nerds. Good to see you, man. Yeah, man. This is funny. This is if he only got more than a coin, he may have been able to get a more substantial lunch.
Yeah, probably.
Some people let's see, what was it here? Efren was talking about Christopher Reeve's role on Smallville as Virgil Swan was epic. It was very good. Very good. And then somebody else, Cisco here, mentioned Efren Reeves as Swan in Smallville was great. Also says Man from U.N.C.L.E. is sneaky good. Rasha says Man from U.N.C.L.E. is fantastic. Sneaky good is a good way to describe Guy Ritchie's films in general. Sneaky good. Yeah, it's always like, oh, I don't know if this is going to be good, and then you watch it, and it's like, oh, that was actually like pretty decent. So, well, that's me, but that's what I've found anyway. Heck yeah.
So,
Gary Lee Fowler. Gary's my buddy, man, who goes after Mike Zero with me. I love Gary, man. Gary,
I don't know. You're not still going after Mark Zero, considering that you've had him on your show a few times now, right? I mean,
I don't know if Gary's seen one of those episodes or not yet. I don't know yet. I don't think he's commented on a night where we had TW on. But TW, if you don't know what we're talking about, or not TW, Gary, if you don't know what we're talking about, we got a guy on here. His name's TW, and he told us right up at the front of the episode last week that his name was a fake name. Basically, it was a misnomer, and that it was also, and then you can't see his face because he's got a picture for he's got the camera turned off. And dude, right in the, we were talking about Mike Zero, and he found us through our 2 Cents on Nonsense show, and all of a sudden in the middle he's just like, this is Mike Zero, please make sure to like and subscribe for future content. And we were just like, if you watch that, I think it's from like last Sunday or last Monday, it's about halfway through, and we're just like, what?
Hey, he's a nice guy. He's a nice guy. If that's him,
I don't think it's him. But he keeps.
If that's him,
he's
earned. If that's him, he's earned my respect. Because to be honest with you, Enosh, if that's him and he just wants to come here, a place for nerds, and he wants to be,
I don't think it's him. Yeah, I don't think it's him. But I'll tell you what, man, TW does a really great impersonation of him, is what I will say. TW does a really good impersonation of Mike Zero. But Gary here says Enola is a safe movie, very watchable. So there you go. And Gary, you keep doing the fine job you're doing, knocking down that nonsense on Facebook with Mike Zero. Like if you see a Mike Zero post on Facebook, Gary is right there to knock it down and basically tell Mike what he thinks of it. And I love it. Thomas says, I like the Dukes of Hazzard episode of Smallville. So did I. Look. Can we just talk about? I don't want to get into too much of this, but I'm just going to say this. I grew up on the Dukes of Hazzard. Okay.
Coy and Vance all the way.
Hold on. I got to bring you back in just to do this. Get the heck out of here with that Coy and Vance crap. Get out of here with that. Actually, I met Coy.
Did Vance? Which one died, Coy or Vance? One of them died.
It must have been Vance then, because I just met Coy last year. There was a Dukes of Hazzard. This church actually had this weekend where they had like all the cars out there. They had Tom Wopat out there. They had the guy who played Enos, and they had the guy who played Coy. And they had like a traveling thing of like memorabilia that went a lot. Tiffany and I got our photo in the General Lee. They had 3 or 4 General Lees out there, and
nice.
A cop car, and they had Daisy's car, and yeah, man, it was cool. So I just say this, like anybody who has a problem with Dukes of Hazzard, look, I don't give a crap about anything else. I will not sit here, and I'm not defending a flag. I'm not defending anything like that, but I will just tell you straight up. Don't come at me about the Dukes of Hazzard until you've watched the series. Okay? Because if you got something to say about the Dukes of Hazzard and you have not watched the series and you have not seen what the series actually dealt with, because the series talks about discrimination, and the series talks flat out about racial issues and stuff like that. And it does not promote racism. It does not promote those things. Look, I don't give a crap about what's on top of the car. That car is my childhood, and I have black friends who are very much Dukes of Hazzard fans, and I've got some Dukes of Hazzard. Look, I've got a ton of stuff here, and I do have some Dukes of Hazzard memorabilia. I've got a General Lee that's signed now by Enos and Tom Wopat. I've met John Schneider, who was obviously on Smallville as well, and you know, it is what it is. But I'm not a racist in any stretch of the imagination. And I would just tell you, watch the show.
Absolutely. It's a great show. And, you know, if you can find them, if you've watched the show and you're still hungry for more Dukes of Hazzard and you can find them, the reunion specials are also very good.
Yeah. Heck yeah. And look, Tiffany just bought me the entire box set of the Dukes of Hazzard a couple years ago. And you know, it just is what it is, man. That was my childhood, dude. That was so. You know what I would love to find, Zod, and I'm surprised that maybe that you don't have it on your Plex, is the cartoon. If you, I've been trying to hunt it down, and because speaking of rare stuff, I just added today on a side note for Plex. I just added today Freddy's Nightmares. I don't know if you're yes, I saw that you added that, and that was crazy because we were talking about that last night.
I just obtained both seasons, and they're pretty decent quality, all things considered. So
it's the only live action real breakdown of what happened to Freddy Krueger before he died. Is the pilot episode. That's the pilot. We talked about this last night when we were talking about Robert Englund, because of that show. Yeah, it was kind of like a Twilight Zone type of show when it got into it. But the first episode was about Freddy, and every once in a while they do an actual Freddy episode.
Freddy actually, if you go through the series, Freddy actually has quite a few really good appearances where he actually does influence things that happen in the show. So it's pretty fascinating.
That's classic, man.
But I do have it up there, and I'm looking, I'm trying to acquire the Dukes of Hazzard animated series, and if I find it, I will let you know.
Let me know, dude. I did find a DVD of part of season 1 of the Back to the Future cartoon for TIFF, which is another hard one to find.
Well, Back to the Future, if you want me to put that up, I can put that up.
You got that? Oh, you got that whole thing?
I can put the whole series up, sure.
I found like one DVD of like the first season or part of the first season or whatever, but that's all I've seen of that too. But that's some good stuff, man. It's classic. I love it, man. Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventures. Remember that? the cartoon, man, for that, and it's like
I remember they did a horrible TV.
I liked it.
adaptation
I
of
liked
Bill
it,
and
dude.
Ted.
Those were the early days of
But
Fox,
it
man,
was-
and I love
but
the
it
live
was-
action of Bill and Ted.
But
I
when
love
you
it.
go back and you watch it, because some of the episodes are on YouTube, it's
Yeah.
not as bad as I remember. So
yeah, I liked it, man. I liked it. There's, you know what? Call me a sucker for bad, cheesy stuff, man. But I love cheesy stuff. I dig it. I love Rasha here says I watched it, meaning Dukes of Hazzard. As the POC, it wasn't offensive. I enjoyed it as a person of color. That's awesome, Rasha. And that's the thing, man. And I can't. I think. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say. I think that these days people it's easy to quickly judge something without any context, and I think people do tend to do that a lot nowadays. So it's unfortunate, but that's just.
Well, and I think that's low hanging fruit because look, it's a Southern thing, right? It's got Southern themes to it, for the United States, the Southern United States, it's based in Georgia. And yes, there was a lot of racist things that happened in that portion of our country that are horrible things, that are regrettable things that I think any smart person would reject and say that, that those are not the way that we want to live our lives. That's not the way that I raise my kids to be as they're growing up. That's not the way that I am. But when you're talking a TV show, just because a TV show is based in the South doesn't necessarily mean that this is what, this represents, and I think like you said, I think too many times people try to jump on stuff. Cisco says he had a big crush on Daisy Duke. We all did. Absolutely. Boss Hog and Roscoe Pico Train. Heck yeah.
Also, and I think like in regards to, I don't want to get too deep into it. But I think that the people that are sort of judging it based on the fact that it's in the South or whatever, that's kind of that's racist, right?
Oh, okay.
Don't you think? I don't know. Isn't that?
I get what you're saying.
People are judging the show based on where they're from in the South. I don't really know the history of too much. I know.
Yeah.
Is Confederacy? Is that what Dukes of Hazzard?
Yeah. Well. So no, the Dukes of Hazzard. It's basically about a Southern family, right?
Okay.
And they live in Georgia, and it's about basically two guys who were race car drivers. They come home and they end up fixing up this car, and they get a '69 Dodge Charger, and they paint it fire orange. And then they give it the name the General Lee, which also is a controversial thing right now because of General Lee's participation in the Civil War. Okay. And then so they call the car the General Lee, and then they put a Confederate flag on the top of it, which is right now what all of the controversy is about.
I think even when it aired on, I can't remember where, but I remember it when it aired. I think it was either on TV Land or some other network where it was airing, where they actually blurred out the General Lee flag on the top of the car.
Okay.
Which to me, I think is just nonsense because of the historical, preservation of the show. I don't really think you should do that. It's just like when you get like an old TV show where they replace the music in the show because they don't have the music rights to the songs so that were in the original series. And so a lot of the music, I hate when they do that. And I got to the point where I've like sought out like the international versions of shows because usually the international version will have the original soundtrack intact. Like, growing up, I liked the TV show 21 Jump Street. And there was a lot of 80s music in 21 Jump Street. But if you go back and you try to watch 21 Jump Street now on any of the streaming services that it's on, or even the DVDs that were released back then, all the 80s music is edited out and replaced with just, incidental filler music that sucks. So for the series 21 Jump Street, I imported the DVDs from, I believe it was Germany, and it has the original the episodes as they were when they originally aired with all the 80s music intact. WKRP in Cincinnati is another show where they did the same thing. And I think later on, the most recent releases, I think have some of the original music intact, but I'm not sure.
So Ryder, can I ask you a question?
Absolutely.
Just in regards to what you just said, why is it that you needed to have that music from that 80s music in there? Is it because that was part of the feel of the show? That's what built that in your head. So coming around full circle, and I love it when that happens. When we were talking about the soundtrack for Justice League, even though I hadn't heard the original soundtrack for Justice League, hearing that Danny Elfman one, it just didn't fit in there, and already I had that uncomfortable feeling that I was just like, oh, I just want to, I want the real version. You know?
Right.
And you probably felt that. So I think a lot of people would definitely felt that actually.
Yeah. No, I agree. Music makes up a huge part of why we enjoy things. You know, why things connect with us, and if something's not there, look, we talk about it. Look, with Return of the Jedi, how many times we talked about it in Zod? That's why you sent me this, right? Look,
now have you had a chance to watch any of them yet?
I'm just gonna watch it, dude. My kids are just gonna have to deal with it. I'm just gonna watch it.
Are you gonna watch it over the holiday? That's what I was thinking.
Yeah. We probably will. But yeah, I mean, like, how do you take out the original Yub Nub song from Star Wars?
That's what I'm talking about.
Right? Yeah, you can't get rid of that. You can't.
But that's been gone since '97.
I know, it's not right. I don't agree with it.
Yeah.
And so, like, the song they put in there, I don't know. They were trying to get like this like super climactic song. It's like
Nicotina. It's almost like it's, they went for this new agey vibe, and it didn't make sense. It took. I mean, I get what they were going, because they wanted to show like the entire galaxy reacting versus just. But Return of the Jedi always, to me, felt like a more personal story. In the backdrop of larger, of the larger political spectrum. The idea is, if you take out, when you start messing around and you take out things like Yub Nub and things that were
in the original Jabba's palace scene where it's da 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 da,
lob the neck,
da 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 da.
How about
I mean, it seemed more appropriate, that song, as opposed to what they put in there after
Jedi Rock. Jedi Rocks, where they basically added like Fraggle Rock into Star Wars. It was just kind of like
so unnecessary. It's like, oh hey guys, it's like, hey, all you Star Wars fans, when you bring your kids to see this, your young kids, we'll put in like a musical number. That way they have something to laugh at. Like, it's like, exactly. So unnecessary.
Exactly. I do want to finish off that little discussion with it. We'll move on from Dukes of Hazzard. But Rasha says here, yes. So the show for Zentek, the show was set in the South, but it had nothing to do with the Confederacy. It had nothing to do with, it wasn't like she says here, it says, yes, but the show isn't a historical reenactment. It's a comedy with some exposition. It's controversial, but not in an offensive way. It's controversial. It's because it had the
Yub Nub.
The flag. Yeah, it had Yub Nub. It had the flag on top of the car. It had the flag on top of the car, and so like actually what wasn't even a thing for many years, when that became more relevant in our pop culture, where people started becoming more sensitive to some of those things, it was an easy target, I think, to take a look and say, hey, that was in that show, so that show must be bad. Right, because it's based in the South and it's about some Southern boys, and it's like, so they must just because even the song where it goes, just the good old boys, right? And so it's like, oh yeah, so just some good old boys who are out there, doing this thing. But that's not what the show is about, and I think not enough people actually took the time to actually go and watch the show to see what the show was.
That's what's wrong with the world we're living in, Enosh. Everybody just rushes to judgment based off of what they think.
It does happen a lot,
and not what is factually accurate. It's like nowadays you don't need facts; you just need opinion. And when you take your opinion and you throw your opinion out there, you just think you're right and try to establish that as fact. And I think that's the saddest thing, because it's so funny, because a lot of people out there complaining about Dukes of Hazzard and they never seen it. If they actually sat down and watched a couple episodes, they would probably become fans.
Right. Well, and here's the thing, and this is the last thing I'll say about this, and we can move on. But I had a friend of mine that I love, that I respect, try to tell me that something like Dukes of Hazzard should probably just be relegated to a museum. And I'm sorry, but that's like saying that the movie Indiana Jones should be, like, no pun intended, but should be relegated to a museum because they show Nazis.
It belongs in a museum.
It belongs in a museum. But because they show Nazis and they show a swastika. Okay. Like,
in almost every one except for Temple of Doom. All the other ones had the Nazis involved in it, except for Temple of Doom.
Exactly. And so
that was like the only standalone.
And so the thing is that, look, I am very, very sensitive to that, and I'm always willing to have a conversation, but I always like if we have a conversation about something, we should all be coming, I think, from an educated point of view about whatever we're talking about,
Yeah.
And not just demonize something just because of, this is what it looks like on the outside,
I think people these days are trying to erase the past, but I think it's important to sort of keep the past there so that we can learn from it. I think that's sort of
and we always need to learn. We always need to learn from the past.
What was that?
What was that?
Oh, don't forget the past. Kill it if you have to. That's your movie. That's your movie.
We always need to learn from the past, and we definitely need to squash things like racism and bigotry and all those things. And so I'm definitely about that.
They're period pieces. You got to look at them in that way. It's a product of its time.
Exactly.
So
exactly. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know how much more we got here. I mean, like I said, I had, we were talking. I love how the stream just takes its own its own way, as I always say it, that the comments always dictate where we go, and they bring up certain points, and they're awesome. But Nicotina, I'm guessing you saw this today.
I did. And that image looks really cool.
And your Green Lantern, Nicotina, would look great with Starfire in the purple suit.
I know. I should have got the image to load up today, and I didn't. Because I got home a little later than I wanted to. But yes, in the purple suit, we could have matched.
There you go. You get some Purple Lantern action going or whatever.
Put them together. Wow. Yeah, that would look awesome.
She looks great.
Dick looks great.
Dick looks great.
Hey, look at that.
Looks
that
great.
looks awesome.
I swear he looks right. Red Hood looks like he came right out of Injustice.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, he looks right on,
So does Dick, man. They both came out. Oh, I forgot to show this one. This I mean, it's we've already seen the suit and everything like that, but this was a new photo that
oh God, I can't wait till Christmas we get to watch this movie.
I know. That's just
finally.
That's the greatest thing. The greatest thing. I'm so happy to hear that we get to watch it on HBO Max or in theater if you wanted to, Enosh.
And I
still have that option.
I definitely will be.
The option exists.
That's why it's there. Is to
if I have the option. That's the thing.
You have the option.
Well, not right now because they closed my theaters down again for the next 3 weeks.
Still.
They look like big, strong hands.
Good luck, fellas.
I tried to hang on to them.
They look like big, strong hands. I tried to hold on to them, but the nothing took my friends, and now I have nothing.
Even the snail, a racing snail.
The racing snail is gone.
Gone. Unbelievable.
Are you guys all in lockdown now?
No, it's not locked. Yeah, it's not locked down.
It is here where I live. I'm in Illinois, and it's under lockdown.
Are
now.
you really? Okay.
Really? Well, here it's after 10 o'clock. They don't want you out they want you to go home.
That's when the virus gets really angsty.
Yeah, that's what it really
Yeah.
ramps up.
Yeah, it doesn't like the virus doesn't like when it's dark outside.
Yeah.
Thank you, Cisco. Yes.
No. It likes when it's dark outside. That way, it's easy to sneak around. Like,
It's like sneaking out. Like, woo! It comes up around the corner.
Son of a bitch!
Woo! Gotcha.
What's that? Oh, COVID.
But no, I mean we're making fun. But yeah, it's here in Michigan, we're not in lockdown, but we're like in this like what are they calling it? They're calling it something weird. They're calling it like a.
Is it a stay at home order?
It's not really. It's not really. I don't know. It's this weird thing that they're basically like
don't get sick order.
They're almost like we're in a relationship and the governor's like, hey, we just need to take a break for 3 weeks. We just need to see other people for 3 weeks.
What we need you to do is we need you as a state to just take a break.
That's what it is, man. That's how they act about it. Is they're like for 3 weeks. We need you guys to just kind of calm down. So like they
just
close.
Put your lives on hold.
Well, and they haven't really closed a lot of things. They did close the movie theater, but not every movie theater in Michigan. Just select one. So it has. What
about the movie theater that you rented out for Empire Strikes Back? Is that closed?
That's the one that's closed. It's right around the corner from my house, and they closed that one down back again. And but there's other ones in the state that are still open. I did get a haircut the other day, so they didn't close down.
Cool.
They didn't close that down. So it's weird. It's like we closed down a couple of things, guys, but we're just taking a little bit of a hiatus. Like, we changed at my church, we changed our policies. So where it's like before, because we have a 2,000 seat auditorium. So before we had split it up where one side was for people who were at high risk and needed to wear a mask for sure. And like if you came in that side of the building, every entrance and everything was you have to wear a mask, and it was all sectioned off. And then the other side was for people who either wanted to wear a mask or didn't, want to wear a mask, because that's what the mandate was from the governor, was you didn't have to wear a mask. So we were going by the state's mandates. Now the entire church is mask only. You have to wear a mask. And in fact, I even had to, just because we have volunteers every week that I oversee, and I even had to have a conversation with somebody and say, hey, I can't have you serve this week because, they didn't feel comfortable wearing a mask. They had some health issues and stuff. And they were like, hey, I can't wear a mask for that long. And I said, I love you, but I can't have you here then, and so it's serious. It's definitely serious, and it has to be taken care of. But it's just weird how it gets presented sometimes.
Wow.
Yeah. All I can say is good luck, fellas. They told us that we were in lockdown for like 3 weeks. Ended up being like 6 months. We had the longest lockdown in the whole world, I think, where I'm from in Australia. So yeah.
Oh, you're in Australia?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's much more serious too, because there it's like you're on a smaller, like what do you call it? Continent, island, however you want to say it.
The giant island. So it's kind of weird.
Island. So they have to make sure that they contain this. Otherwise, it'll just run rampant.
Yeah, well, they had like police blasting through doors when people were like, conspiracy to protests and stuff like that. Because people were protesting, and police were actually like smashing people down. It was pretty intense. It became like almost like communist state. So it's pretty intense.
Interesting.
Oh.
Wow. Well, we just hit all the keywords, didn't we? This stream will be.
Sorry.
It just smashed the algorithm right now.
This stream will be demonetized. And Poindexter Lounge, I have special news for you. Within a couple of days, I will have the Dukes of Hazzard animated series up on Plex for you, brother.
There we go.
Yeah, buddy. Let's go.
Oh, wait,
that's awesome.
Wait, now, Enosh, if you want to hit the algorithm, you have to say a couple more things. You have to say Kathleen Kennedy, Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Yes. Keep it going. Keep Bob Chapek.
Patty Jenkins. You got to say Patty Jenkins too.
Patty
Jenkins. Throw her in there.
Lucasfilm.
Lucasfilm.
The Lucas cut. The Lucas cut.
There we go. Lucas cut.
That's funny. I'll tell you guys something when we go off the air. I'll tell you guys an interesting story that I can't share on air about algorithms and about.
I'm gonna go live in like a couple of minutes. So if you guys want to come over, you're more than welcome to. I'll put the link in the private chat.
Put the link in. We'll come over and say, I'll definitely come over and say hi. And then I gotta get something to eat. So
you can eat on my show. I don't care if you eat.
I'll go pop some popcorn and just be like, hey, what's up?
Yeah, do it.
Yeah, but there's some good stuff that like I said, we talked about tonight, and I'm very thankful for all you guys. And look, I just watched Evil Dead and Army of Darkness the other day, and I'm just saying, I wish we would have seen this.
That'd have been good.
He's got the jawline. Look at that Bruce Campbell jawline. Look at that Bruce Campbell jawline.
Aaron Bailey art.
All right. So, and I do want to say, you guys all know that I have been a strong proponent of our favorite restaurant. What's our favorite restaurant, guys?
The Lunch Trench.
Little Caesars.
Lunch Trench.
All over town, people are talking about the Lunch Trench. It's the ditch where you can eat your food.
So that is Jordan from It's Keys. You can find him on TikTok, and actually he has a YouTube channel as well. And we need to get this guy some more subs, because the guy's got like 150,000 TikTok subscribers, and he's only got like little less than 300 YouTube subscribers. And the guy is so funny.
He's getting ready to pass me.
This guy is awesome. And hey, check this out. I did this today. I interviewed Jordan, and he was so awesome and so great. And I got to get him on a stream sometime when we have Dawson on, and I'm going to surprise Dawson and just like have Jordan in the back there. And then I'm going to put my glasses on, and then we're going to have me, Jordan, and Dawson all together, because what I figured out is Dawson is the younger one. Jordan is like the middle one, and I'm the older one. And so we're all Dawson. We're at different stages of our lives. So,
oh my God, the multiverse is real.
The multiverse is real. It is real, my friend. And hey, a real quick shout out here to Rel McMillan, one of our wonderful Patreon supporters. Thank you, Rel, for being a Patreon supporter, man, and thank you for the super chat. Says I don't think I can handle another lockdown. I hear you, man. I hear you. And so hopefully things get better. I really hope so as we move into 2021. I've been telling everybody, you know what? There's not going to be a magic switch over on New Year's Eve, right? It's not going to be a magic switch over. That all of a sudden everything's going to be good. But last night I read off as my closer everything good that's happened to me this year, and it literally has taken me a long time to actually voice what good has happened in my life this year. And I encourage each one of you, like I posted it on my Facebook page, but I encourage each one of you to make a list of the good things that have happened to you this year. And I'll tell you what, I think you'll be surprised, because I was very surprised when I started going down that list of like opportunities that I've had that I would have never had before. The people that I've met, like all you guys were part of my list, right? Of people that I've met that I would have never had these friendships, these relationships, even if I've never met you guys in person. Like I've got to meet some of the guys in person, with Dawson and Ryan Zeverfett and, Anthony and Cylon Scotty and Sophie and, Wonder Meg was here and all those wonderful things. But like, we're getting the SNYDER cut, like I got to go to Universal. I got to go to Galaxy's Edge before they got closed down and stuff. And it's just,
that's true.
You count your blessings, man. I got to take my family to the Southwest and show them the country. I got to go to Metropolis, count your blessings, because even if you didn't get to do all those similar things that I did this year, I guarantee you there were some positive things that happened to you in your life this year. And in the midst of all the negativity, folks, that's what we need more of, is to focus more and more on the positive. And so I think that's a great way to end the show. Everybody go over to Nicotina's channel. Show him some love. If you haven't subscribed to Nicotina yet, subscribe to this guy.
Yes.
Subscribe to the newest to the newest nerd on the 4 nerds.
Yeah.
Congratulations, man. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Go subscribe down here. Go subscribe to Zod Rider down there.
Thank you, Enosh. Appreciate it.
And the Zod Rider show, for sure. Go show him some love. Mladen, you got a YouTube channel, right?
No, I don't have a YouTube
I
channel.
thought you had. I thought you started. I thought you started your own thing.
Way to go, Enosh.
No,
Didn't
I
we talk
did
about
not
this?
start.
He's
Okay,
like,
I
"No,
thought
I shut that down. Like, oh.
well, maybe you should. Maybe you should. And then, like, hey, Zentek, always good to have you here, my friend. I love your opinions. I'm
Cheers, man.
so glad that you were able to jump on. I love all of you guys. I love all of your opinions, and I'm thankful for you all because you guys all make life fun. Thank you to everybody in the chat. You guys always make these episodes such a great time. Like it's like we're hanging out with friends, right? And I will say this: if we're gonna be quarantined, if we're gonna have to stay at home, I can't think of any other people that I'd rather be at home with, talking to in a chat or talking to, live via video or whatever, than you guys. It's you guys make it fun.
That's the one major positive of this whole thing. Being in this position has given us all the opportunity to
Yep, it really
together
has.
and get to know each other in ways that we never would have otherwise.
Yep. Look, Thomas says he's getting married soon.
Awesome.
Mountains of Elysium says, "What has it meant to me? It's blessed me with more time spending with my wife. I work from home now. I can spend more time with her." Cisco says, "I count my blessings and be thankful for what you have and don't dwell on what you don't have." So there you go, guys. So hey, guys,
thanks for having us on, man.
Absolutely. So we are going to go ahead and go say hi to Nicotina for a while. Go over there, the Nicotina Show. It's really easy to find. If you haven't already, I don't have the link to his show, but you can find him really easy. It's just the Nicotina Show. All right. Love you guys. And as I always say, don't let anybody tell you that your fandom doesn't matter, because remember that everyone's fandom matters. Everyone's opinion matters. You may not agree with everybody's opinion, and it may not always be your thoughts on a subject or a fandom or whatever, but you know what? It's okay. We all don't have to agree. Right? We all don't have to agree. We're all going to have our own opinions. But at the end of the day, what's important is that you respect one another, right? And so that's what I love most of all, is when we respect one another, when we care for one another. And as long as you do that, you'll always have a place here in the Poindexter Lounge. Stay nerdy. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
See you next time.